round up and we'll move on to the computer game, right? Because I know you want to see me do a walkthrough, so let's do it. Let's do a walkthrough of try not to have gay sex with Yves 2, the return of not having gay sex with Yves. So no, you don't need to have played the first one to appreciate the second one. I deliberately put a lot of ideas from the first one in the second one, so those who didn't get to play the first one wouldn't have missed out on too much stuff. It's a very similar games. So I'm going to go through, I'm going to show you all the stuff. I'm going to show you all the Easter eggs. And let's do it. So we'll do the I'll just load up my original version from RPG Maker, because that'll run quicker without lag and stuff. Like if you're running it on if you've got a Windows machine, you should definitely run the Windows version, not the web version, because the Windows version is better. Alright. So very similar theme tune to last time. It's actually slightly different. I did record it again. But once again, it's Fender Rhodes sound on purpose, and sort of pentatonic scales. Which I did on purpose because I just wanted to get people into the groove of the game kind of being fairly shit. so here we go. Here we start off in Choose and Yves' dorm here. Was that song meant to be more? It wasn't meant to be a cover of anything. I'll click on that anyway, just so I can see what it is. Rura. Oh, maybe. Oh, that other song. Yeah, it is. It's the same song. It's not a great song. Regardless of who's doing it. Anyway, sorry. We'll get back to the walkthrough, because someone's probably recording it for a Let's Play or whatever. So, if so, hello. So let's have a look at this. So here we're starting off. Here's Chew here, and you can control it with the mouse by clicking on things, or you can just use the arrow keys on your keyboard. I don't know how it works on mobile phones. And as usual, everything's interactive. So when you're in here, the first thing you want to do is go and get the pizza slice. This doesn't look like a pizza here, but when Chew interacts with it, she'll tell you it's a pizza. She says this is a pizza. The reason why it doesn't look like a pizza is because there is no default graphic in RPG Maker for a pizza without a slice missing. But once she has gets a slice of pizza, it changes to the pizza with the graphic with the slice missing. She's got a pizza slice now. If you want to look at your inventory, you can just escape and go item, and we'll see that she's got a pizza slice. You can't use objects from your inventory. You can't wear them or anything like that. There's no inventory management in this game, but you can check it and see what's in there. The book is a tutorial, so we'll read this and we'll just go to the tutorial. And this just basically explains what to do. Pretty straightforward. And this is also to get used to the idea of teleports and interacting with objects. There's a badge in this chest which does nothing. But the one thing that you should do in this tutorial is talk to Vivi. Because Vivi says something different in the actual game if you talk to her in the tutorial, instead of if you don't talk to her in the tutorial. So that's one of the little Easter eggs. So Chew's asking Vivi, why are you in the tutorial? And she's like, well, it's just a quiet place to have a cigarette break. But now it isn't, because you're here, sort of implying that Chew's a noisy little irrit. So, and we'll just go back. So we've done that. Now, there's a moonlighting switch. So you can flick that and you can moonlighting. Oops. now we're going to go to see Yves. So, because we've got the pizza slice, gay sex will not happen, because she will give Yves the pizza slice, because Yves asks for it, and she's not going to want to have sex while she's eating pizza. So, but if I talk to her a second time, she'll say, "Okay, I've finished eating the pizza now," and then gay sex will happen, and then the game will be over. We'll just put that back up. So there we go. Now that we're in Yves' room, there's one important thing we need to do in here. There's two reasons why you want to be in here. One is to flick the switch for Yves' teleport. Each one of these switches that you find controls the teleport, and you'll see it glow. And then if you go into the teleport, you'll end up in the teleport room. It's only a one-way teleport. That's on purpose. The other thing you want to do in Yves' room is you want to interact with this blue bottle, which is a special soju. Olivia Yee's special soju. So she drinks it, and there she goes. She's had it. If you try and drink it again, she's drunk it all, so you can't do it twice. So that's all we need to do in this room. We'll go out. This is the teleport for I think it's Hyunjin, who's in the gym. But I had to put the lever outside the gym, because later on in the game you can't get into the gym, and you need to flick all the teleports to win the game. It's one of the things you have to do. So if you forget to flick it while you're in there, then later on you can't access it, then it actually breaks the game. So that's why the teleport's out here. So we can't see the actual teleport itself, but the switch has turned it on. Now there's 12 lockers here. These are all for the Lunar girls, and they're just in debut order. They're all locked. Yojin's locker has a red mark on it. You find out why later. So if we go left, there's really nothing we can do. This is a vocal practice room. And then there's a thing here. You can interact with that too, to stop Lunar fans from coming into the dorms. Although it wouldn't be very effective because the switch is on the other side. So, but that's all right. We'll suspend logic a little bit and go this way. There's some different rooms here. This is the button room. Every K-Popalypse RPG Maker computer game has a button room with buttons. And if we talk to Hasul, she'll tell you why there's buttons here. What all the buttons do. Staff have determined that Lunar girls enjoy pushing people's buttons, so this room's got lots of buttons to push. And she says, yeah, go ahead, push the buttons. Now these buttons don't do shit. They have no bearing on the outcome of the game. But the reason why there's a room with buttons in it is because when I was playtesting the game, I wanted a way to turn off and on certain variables easily, so I used buttons for that, so I could do it from within the game itself without having to go into menus. And the only reason why we really need to be in this room is, once again, to put her teleport on, and then we don't ever have to go in here again. There's a bad thoughts room, and there's a sign on there. This relates to some old K-Popalypse fan fictions that I'm sure some of you are familiar with, where there's a bad thoughts room in certain entertainment facilities, where if you think the wrong thing, you have to go to the bad thoughts room and think about what you thought. It's just a parody on, the ludicrous amount of control over their lives that these companies have over idols. And so I don't think it's that much of a stretch to think, well, if they're controlling their diet and they're controlling their movements, they're controlling whether they can see their family or not, maybe they're controlling their thoughts too. All right, so it's a critique of that. We'll move out of there. This one is the teleport room. So here you can keep track of which Lunar Girls teleports you've activated. You can walk over these, they don't do anything. There's 2 teleports in the top left and the top right that do take you to other places, and we'll show you how to activate those later. But we can see we've done Hyunjin, who's in the gym, Hasul, who's in the button room, and that's Yves, and that's Chu. So it's, once again, it's left to right, top to bottom, debut order. And there's a button here that explains why there's teleports. And so they can gather for training with greater efficiency, and not to be used for any other reason. So here's where this implies that you can go, that further on is the other dorms, but there's no stop complaining about it. They're filthy like rats. So it's just to clean us having a whinge. If we go down here is Olivia here and Gowon's dorms. This is Gowon's room here. It's got the because she's a hip hop. This has got a hip hop gear. Now, those who played the first game will know that there's a puzzle where you make a noise on the piano and you get Olivia to walk across the room to access a place. Now, obviously, this puzzle here is similar because there's stuff in her room that we want to get to, but Olivia says, if you think that's going to work, no, it's not going to work. So, other tactics are required. And we can just talk to Olivia, and she'll say, no, you can't come in. So in Gowon's room, we'll flick the switch for Gowon's teleport. Oh, if you do this one, there's a different track. So I'll flick that off. You can turn the teleports off as well, but you want to leave them on, and you want to get the spray paint out of here. So she's saying, spray paint would be good to destroy something of Olivia's, but I can't get into the room. And Olivia's like, I heard that. You're not getting in here. So she knows what she wants to do. So we're going to go out of here. So we can't get into any of the things, but we can go over to a locker here. Obviously it's in debut order, and she was the last one, so our locker's on the far right. So there we go. She just makes a splat there, and she can go look at the splat. Now we'll just go back down, and we'll just announce to Olivia that we have vandalised her locker. She won't be very impressed. And Olivia's worked out what's going on, and she's off to the CEO to complain. Cool, so that allows access into Olivia's room. Now, there's apples in the basket. You can pick one up. You can't do anything with it, and it's the only object in the game that you can pick up that's actually, actually it's not the only one that you can pick up that's actually useless. Like, it doesn't do anything. There's no quest function or anything like that. What you want is in this chest of drawers. That's a gym pass. And the other thing you're going to want is the money from down here. So now she's got Olivia's cash. If you look at it again, she'll say, how come the money bags are empty? Why doesn't Olivia put money in here? Basically denying that she just stole the money. I can't imagine why it's empty. No idea why the empty money bags are just lying around. That Olivia here, sure enough, she should put money in here or something. So yeah, there you go. So she's totally in denial. So now we'll click this just to do Olivia's teleport. Now we'll go back out. We're done in this room. Now you can go to the gym. There's a sign on the gym rules. We're going to break all 3 of these rules. Well, the first 2 at least. Third one will lose the game. So into the gym. There's some fun objects in the gym, like a stereo. There's some rope. You've got to have some rope in the gym. Sorry for anyone who was offended by the rope. Chu would never rope anyone, so she's just going to leave the rope alone. Go up to Hyunjin. You see her teleport's already active, because we activated it out here. That's the switch for it. So we'll go up to Hyunjin. Are you ready to learn a new dance? We're finally getting one of our new songs. Actually, it's one of the NCT's new songs. So there's just paying out the fact that, they do a lot of boy stuff, but there hasn't been that many Luna songs lately. And when we'll get our own. So, not for a while, probably. So she actually dances to it. And if you're playing the Windows version, not the web version where there's a bit of audio lag, she actually jumps in time to the NCT perfectly. So 18-hour practice session. Trying to make it realistic like K-pop here. And so now Yves is coming. Now, if you haven't drunken the soju by this point, you'll lose the game here, because Chu and Yves will just start having sex. But what happens is Chu goes for it, but then she starts to feel sick. And you'll see, if you're very observant, you'll notice that Yves' hair and clothes change a little bit here. That's because she's been puked on by Chu. So her hair will just flop down a bit. So she had a few pukes. And then a few days later, she's in the hospital. Here we are. Now, so here's our hospital. There's a vending machine. The only thing you can buy is a cake, but it's 1 won higher than what you can afford. And there's no way in the game to get more than 8,000 won, so you'll never be able to buy the cake. Or the pie, or whatever it is. Flip this switch. Now, as soon as you arrive in the medical ward for the first time, the switch, the teleport that takes you to the medical ward is now activated. So if we go back here, you'll see in the top left corner this teleport's on, and that'll take us always to this location. Jin Sol's here. You don't need to talk to it. Has no effect on the game. So we're out here. Kim Lip's behind the desk here, but there is you don't need to talk to her at this point, but you can, because obviously you want to get out of this door here and you can't, so you can talk to her and she'll just tell you what's up. How do I get out? I want to have gay sex with Yves. And she's like, I'll open the door. Oh wait, Cherry's got my swipe card. Grab it off her, she'll let you out. Cool. There's a phone here, you can use it, and she'll answer a phone call. I need to make a medical appointment. What's your issue? I've seen a bad case of shit music disease. Sorry, you've rung the Blockberry Hospital. It's the wrong hospital. We can't help. Have you actually heard So What? I'm sorry, but we're already booked out with too many cases of shit music disease thanks to that. Aping's Hospital was just around the corner. Maybe go there. Bye now. She hangs up the phone. So, if you try and do the phone again, Kim Lip will just say, tell her off. Now, there's a few little Easter eggs here. One of them is, if you search the couches, if you search this particular one in this particular spot, you'll find Zico's golden phone. And this is obviously a reference to certain K-pop controversies, and she's just made a note that she'll return that to Zico. Gold phone. There it is. Another Easter egg here, which I don't know if any of you found this, but this is there's a notice board up here. You can read it. Girls to join a K-pop group. So if you want to join a K-pop group, 3 meals a day, spacious dorms, get to see your family all the time. Email us, totally not a K-pop scam @mail.com. Now, if you actually send an email to that email address, you'll get an email back, and I'll show you what the email looks like. It looks like this. Thanks for your email. We're looking forward to your vocal audition. It tells you the code for the laptop in the vocal teacher's office. And if you do well, you'll become a trainee. Pure and Innocent Entertainment is the name of the company. So this is a side company that our vocal teacher's running from within his room or whatever. So that you will actually get that email if you try and do that. It may come in your junk mail, so just check your spam folders and your junk folders and stuff like that, because you know what these K-pop agencies are like. They send a lot of junk mail, right? So so there we go. Let's go back to there. All right. So yeah, so that email address actually works. Olivia, he's got a note up there. Vivi says, for a good time, don't join a K-pop group. So anyway, now I'm going to go and see Cherry. So here we are. Cherry's got a switch here. We'll just flick that. Now she'll automatically start the conversation as soon as she sees Yu-chun and Cherry together. Yu-chan's got me trapped in the toilet. Don't worry, I'm safe. It's far too small an area for him to do anything inappropriate, but I also can't get out. So the way to get Cherry out of there is to make the bathroom bigger. So you see there's a little bit of a crack here in the wall. So we're going to go and blow up that crack. We can also use the toilet. But she'll only use the toilet if Yu-chan isn't around. Like, she'll do it here because Yu-chan's distracted by Cherry. But it's funnier if I don't use it right now. We'll just go back down. Now that I've spoken to Cherry, I can actually access this room. So here's a construction site. And if we go to this thing, there's a hammer in the basket. We can pick it up. You can actually try and break through this, but it won't work. But that's a clue about what you should be doing with the sledgehammer, which is going back up here and using it on this wall. So should we just smash things up? And Yu-chan's very happy about his new big bathroom because now he can do stuff in it, and that's allowed Cherry to escape, and now we're good. And now Chu is not going to go to the toilet because Yu-chan is around. It's too risky. So there we go. We've activated that. Now Kim lip switch is actually through this door, so we've got to get out. Let's talk to Kim again. And Kim will hand over the pass. And now you can just walk through. And that just stays open now. So we'll do Kim Lips teleport. There we go. Now we're in the city district. There's a bit of light snow going on. Just wanted to make it super clear that it was actually outdoors. So we've got a few different shops here, and they all have signs in front of them. There's the club. There's Jimin from AOA. She's the guard for the club. She won't let Chu in without ID. There's a sign. It tells you what's in the club. Free entry for Luna members. That's pretty good. And it's a male strip club. This one here, this is Tiffany's Party Supplies shop, and this one here is Raina's private clinic. Although Raina isn't actually doing it stuffed, it's actually someone else. So our next step is we'll go down to this alleyway. Here's Vivi again. Now, because we spoke to her in the tutorial, Vivi will say something different. Hi Vivi. Hi Chu. What are you doing in the alley? Nothing important. Look, it's bad enough I can't have a cigarette and a drink in the tutorial without interruption. Do you have to bug me in the actual game as well? So yeah, Vivi's just wants Chu to leave her alone. So we just go in here. We'll just activate Vivi's teleport. And then we're done. There's a casino. You can only lose money in the vending machine, the poker machines. You use 10 won in this one, and 1,000 won in this one. You can, if you lose all your money, you basically break the game, because you need to have at least 10 won to win the game. There's Unha's jewelry shop, and there's jewels and gold, and you can go in there and look at stuff. And there's lots of really expensive jewels that you will not be able to buy. It's impossible to get money to buy anything from her shop. But what we do want to do is we want to go in here. We want to go into the plastic surgery clinic, and we want to inspect this pile of junk. And now we've got some plastic explosive. Now we can get this, and we'll go back in here, and we can go to that big crack in the wall that Chu couldn't break through with a sledgehammer. Now we can break through it with the bomb. There we go. So now we've still blown up, we can go in here. And here's Yojin. We'll just flick her teleport on. She'll automatically start the conversation. And there's like a dead guy there. He's not dead, he's sleeping. So lots of stories from Yeojon about why this dude isn't really dead. We can go to him. And get his pass. Now we can also get the key to his office, but we have to get that from Yeojin. Now the way to get it from Yeojin is to keep harassing her, and basically if she keeps talking to her, you'll get different conversations each time until you get the key. So try again. You're really sure? And so on. Eventually, I think this time we get him. There we go. So we've got a key. So cool, now we can go out. So next thing is we want to go into Tiffany's party supply shop. And there's a whole bunch of stuff you can buy, but you only need one of these things, which is the cheapest one, clothes peg. Doesn't matter how many you buy, one will do. And that's the only object you need to buy to win the game. So I'll go back out. Tiffany's done her job. So So this is the front office for Blockberry. Let's go in here. We've got Heejin behind the counter. You don't actually need to go up and talk to her, but she'll just explain that she's doing reception because there's been some staff layoffs. And there's some stuff here. You don't need to interact with any of that stuff. There's no real need. You can in the hallway. Now we can go. Now we're back at the start. You can see the gym's been cordoned off now because it's been cleaned. So now we can go to the vocal room. So here's our vocal practice rooms. Now this is, if you remember the interview that I did with Cheska, you will remember the incredibly tiny vocal practice rooms that she talked about. And so I've sort of recreated that in here. We've got these tiny rooms, each with a mirror and, you know, and a bit of furniture or something, and just like the smallest possible rooms. And you'll see that all the 6 mirrors up the top. You see all the 6 rooms up the top all have mirrors. So if you're thinking about it, the 6 rooms down the bottom would also all have mirrors. So if you think about that and you go down here, you'll realise, well, Chu would actually be looking at the mirror in her room on the far side of the wall. So if you interact, she'll tell you that this is the case. And so now you get a gold star for figuring that out. There's nothing else you really need to do here. But you can go into the vocal teacher's office because you've got the key from Yejin. Now, there's our ID card, so we'll just pick that up. There's organ. Pretty good, eh? And there's another tune over here. So there's sort of an implication here that the game ends here. You can click on this, and here's the computer. Now, if you got the email code from before, there it is, 80085. Some of you clever folks probably would have worked that out already without even getting an email. But we just... Cool. So that's groovy. So we've done that code. That code's, it's not essential to win the game, but it does give out a little Easter egg. Because you see, if Chu plays the piano here, she does kind of a pretty shit job. She says she's talented, but you know. But what you can do now is, because you've unlocked that, this teleport on the top right is now active. That's what our laptop did when we put the code into it. This takes us to the secret audition room. There's 3 double beds in here. So, you know, make of that what you will. There's a seat, and there's a piano, and you can actually play the piano. And if she plays this piano, she actually plays it really well. So that's just a little little Easter egg. Has no bearing on the outcome of the game, but it's just something I thought I'd put in. So we're back in here. We'll just to save a bit of time, we'll go Vivi. Oh no, we can't. We got to go this way. Go that way. Oh, let's go back out through here. Cool. So now to get through these bars, you just gotta interact with them, and you just listen to a very long story from Heejin here. She describes the process for opening the door. You got to go fight the dragon on the mountain and get the shard of destiny. Take it to the blacksmith. Make it into a spike. And you drive it into the soil to release the kraken. And then you got to go to the wizards to get the trident. In 3 bits that is assembled. Then you poke the kraken's eyes out. And you get an egg. And you got to hatch the egg in the shroud and blah 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 blah. And then she says, "Can't you just give me the key?" And she's like, "Oh yeah, right." So there you go. There's your key for your storage room. Because she's very bored during reception, so she's thinking up computer games and shit while she's there. Because she's got nothing else to do. So here we go. So now we can get in. That's great. So storage room, it's a bit darker. There's really nothing in here of relevance. But if you click that, now all the teleports are activated. Once all teleports are activated, all 12 Lunar Girls, you get this stairwell. If you haven't got all 12 on, it won't appear. So you just go down there. A very secret tunnel. It's very dark. Now, if Chu hasn't got the peg, she won't be able to stop the smell. And then when she gets close to Yves, you'll lose the game. But she's worked out she can put the peg over her nose. There we go. So now when she gets to this point, she'll say, "Oh, it smells different, but I don't want to take the peg off my nose because it kind of reeks down here too much." Because you can't actually see Yves. And these are the plants which are generating the smell. She obviously knows nothing about this type of plant and what it does, because she's very innocent. So a laminator. Plastic to do the laminating. It should be pretty obvious where to find plastic for the laminating. Now, why do we need a laminator anyway? Because Jimin will not let Chu into the club without a laminated ID card, which she'll actually tell you. If you go up to her with the card, and it's not laminated yet, it's not even laminated. All of your ID cards are laminated. So what you do is you just go to the plastic shop and you talk to Gion, the purple-haired guy from Entic, and he will laminate your card for you. It's a very noisy laminator. Laminators don't actually make any noise at all, but had to make it sound like something was happening. Now we go back to Jimin. There's a gold star club. Your laminated ID card needs to have a gold star on it. So now we've already got a gold star because we got one from when she searched her own vocal practice room. We'll see it in the inventory here. But we need it on the card itself. So that's kind of like a gold crafting job. So we go to Unha and she'll do it. So she does the thing. Now we've got a gold star ID card. Now I can go to Jimin. And now Jimin will reluctantly let us in the club. You will notice that every single sentence that Jimin says in this game starts with the word "hey." I'm trying to make the dialogue realistic here. So there we go. Now you can get in the club because Jimin's out of the way. Jimin will just now wander randomly. Alright, so here we are in the club. Here's Yves here. Yves is checking out Shindong, who's performing. You can't really get up there. Chu can't interact with Shindong because it's not that sort of club. You can't do that sort of thing. Now here's Zico behind the bar. Now, because we picked up the golden phone from before, we can now give it to Zico, and he's very grateful for getting his phone back. This has no bearing on the game, but it's just a nice little thing that I thought I'd put in. I'm just here to give you back your phone. Oh, well, thank you, Chu. Phone looks very expensive with all that gold stuff. You should be more careful. Thanks. So you didn't look at any of the phone messages, did you? Gosh, no. I'm an honest Chu. If it's not my phone, I don't look. Good morals to live by, don't you think? Yeah, I guess so. Anyway, thanks. So, yeah, hopefully you enjoyed that little interaction. So now Chu can talk to Yves. Can I ask you something? Sure, what is it? Will I have gay sex? Yes, I would. Okay, let's have gay sex now. Not just yet. I'm watching Shindong perform. I find it hard to concentrate on gay sex when I'm watching Shindong. Meet me later in the vocal teacher's office for gay sex. He has a nice double bed that will be good for gay sex times. So, there we go. So we'll go back there and do exactly that. So here's hallway, and oh, Olivia here is in the way. and Olivia knows exactly what Chu wants to do with Yves, and she's not going to have any of it because she's pissed off at Chu. So she's deliberately trying to be a pain in Chu's ass. So we need to once again find a way to remove Olivia from that spot so we can get in there and do our thing. So go out. If you go into Yves' dorm, you'll see that there's a note from her just saying that she's in the gay sex club. But we actually want to go to Olivia's room, and we want to spray paint something of her. So we're going to go for this dress, which is very pretty. Shame if something happened to it, like if someone spray painted it. So there we go. So now we've done that, we can go back to Olivia again, and we're going to piss her off even more. So, hi Olivia. So you like my art? That's not fucking true art. So Olivia's already figured out that she's wrecked something hers, but she doesn't know what it is yet. So she says, "I made your dress prettier," and Olivia is angry, and off she goes to, talk to the CEO again and try and convince him to kick Chu out of the group. Now we can get back in here, and we're back in the vocal teacher's office. We have Yves here. And we can end the game. Here's how we do it. We just go up to Yves. Because we've because this is essentially the end, you've got sort of game ending music here. And it goes for a while, but you can skip through it. This chord progression is 1, 6, 4, 5. It's like a doo-wop progression. So they're about to have gay sex. Yes, time for gay sex is upon us. We'll have sex and we'll be very gay. The gayest sex any Chu and Yves ever had. Let's have gay sex for all gays everywhere. And then we interrupted. Okay, so this is Elon Musk here, who has discovered Chew. Oh no, it's Elon Musk. And he's telling Chew off for the spray painting. Elon Musk can't launch his spacecraft properly because there's too many hydrocarbons interfering with the wind. Chew tries a Chew heart, but the Chew heart powers don't work on Elon. You'll be separated from Yves and consigned to the bad sort room for 3 hours. No. That's the end of the game. We won. Or lost, rather. So there we go. That is the game. So now you know how to win. So enjoy.